life can hit like a sledgehammer. But guess what? We hit back harder. Welcome to Affirm That Sh. Somehow I Thrived. I'm Jennifer Rogers, your no BS guide to turning life's toughest moments into badass victories. Ready to flip the script? Let's affirm that life can be a bitch, but somehow we thrive. Welcome to today's episode of Affirm That Sh. Somehow I Thrived. I'm your host, Jennifer Rogers, and today we are speaking with the queen herself, Miss Bobby Mendez. From humble beginnings to breaking free from the confines of a strict Mennonite upbringing, at just 17 years old, Bobby has become an award-winning salon owner, founder of a nonprofit, and the 2025 Miss Queen of the World. Bobby's story is one of courage, reinvention, and unstoppable faith in herself. I invite you to say along with me Bobby's affirmations. So in your space and place, get comfortable, take a breath in, and repeat with me. I am proof that leaving behind the familiar leads to a life of freedom, impact, and divine purpose. I am proof that leaving behind the familiar leads to a life of freedom, impact, and divine purpose. I am proof that leaving behind the familiar leads to a life of freedom, impact, and divine purpose. My gifts not only create outer beauty, they awaken the inner beauty in others. My gifts not only create outer beauty, they awaken the inner beauty in others. My gifts not only create outer beauty, they awaken the inner beauty in others. Faith in myself and belief in freedom of choice have solidified my legacy. Faith in myself and belief in freedom of choice have solidified my legacy. Faith in myself and belief in freedom of choice have solidified my legacy. Stick with us. After this break, we'll meet Bobby.
Hi, my name is Connie Walton.
And I'm Jennifer Rogers.
And together we are the co-founders of the Sacred Uturi Collective.
Sacred Uturi Collective invites you to come spend time with us March 2026 in this beautiful home in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. It's a retreat where you will find yourself in a quiet space with your soul sisters, reliving, replenishing, and reigniting your soul.
To find out more, visit our website at sacreduturicollective.com to snag your ticket to this beautiful retreat. It's a once in a lifetime and you don't want to miss it.
Hi, Bobby. Thank you for joining us today on this episode of Affirm That Sh. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I could not wait to meet with you guys today.
Oh, sister, I'm telling you, when I read your short introduction about a potential guest, I was so excited to meet you. But I think what I'm most excited about right now in this moment is just your pure beauty that shines from the inside out. And your crown is top notch, sets it off, and just completes this beautiful picture. And so I know our listeners are going to now become viewers because you guys have to come see Bobby. And tell us a little bit, Bobby, how you got to be Miss Queen of the World 2025 because it wasn't just, I woke up and decided to do this.
Right. So going back, I'm going to it's going to be not a straight shot forward, but ever since I was a little girl, I dreamed about doing a beauty pageant, being on stage and like shining so bright. And I grew up Mennonite, so I never got to do any of that. Being Mennonite, we were not allowed to have any fancy clothes. We weren't allowed to have any attention drawn to us. We weren't allowed to do our hair. Makeup was frowned upon. We had to wear long, plain dresses. Anything to bring attention to us was not permitted. If you were a woman, you couldn't work outside the home. Your goal was to tend to the family, tend to the animals, do yard work, that kind of thing. So at a young age, that is all I dreamt about, was being a beauty queen. And now I am 40 years old and it finally happened. I am not a pageant girl by trait. It was the second pageant that I have ever done in my whole entire life. And that's why it's so important. Like, it's never too late to chase a dream, and every dream is worth chasing. So, that is why this crown and sash mean so much, because it is my mission to tell my story to people all around the world, because I know that I'm not the only one that went through this type of thing to get where I am today. So that is pretty much it. I am enjoying my time as Mrs. Queen of the World. Like, I was in Forbes magazine, like, just pinch me. I cannot believe it. Um, I got to walk in Fashion Week at the age of 40. I got to be on a billboard at the age of 40 with my daughter, because that is the beauty about Mrs. Pageantry, is because I can implement my family and we can celebrate it together. So I believe that God had a purpose for me, and that was me bringing my family into it, because we can enjoy it together and not just me being by myself, because I feel like I was an outsider my whole entire life. So having a family that loves me and accepts me for me, I feel like that is the beauty of the whole thing.
And Bobby, it sounds so opposite for those of us that grow up and this is the norm, right? We
Yes.
have those bright colors. We have, the makeup and the hair, the little plastic sets that we play with as little girls. And so for you to have that these are your dreams, that these are the
Yeah.
things that you want, and to watch that come to fruition. But I want to ask about your community of the Mennonites that you were with the first, period of your life. Do you find support in that community today, or did you have to let go of where you once were to be where you are?
So I let everything go. I'll start from the beginning. I grew up from very humble beginnings, and I felt like I didn't belong. I always am like, am I adopted? What is going on? I do not belong here in this life. And my two favorite things growing up were my two sheep. That I named them Glitz and Glamour. And my favorite thing was to brush their hair and make their hair all fluffy, and I would shine their hooves. And they were my reason why I figured out that I wanted to be a hairstylist and I wanted to do famous people's hair. And growing up in a Mennonite community, you don't know who a famous person really is. I just like the idea of it. I also love to be with my grandfather, and we would husk the corn, and I'd be on a tractor with him baling the hay. Like, that was my life, picking and shucking green beans. It was very simple. And I believe that is the reason how I got hard work and dedication. Like, I wholeheartedly 100% give my background that, like, that's how I got that, because we had that drive, we had that dedication to get everything, finished in a day and never give up. And I feel like I brought that to the quote unquote real world. Um, I was 17 years old and I graduated high school. And as soon as I graduated high school, I knew that I wanted something different for my life. So I left. I left a little small town and moved to the big city of Philadelphia. I was scared. I was alone, but I knew what I wanted. I wanted to be a hairstylist. I wanted to do hair makeup for famous people. And I've never even used a flat iron or anything before because I was Mennonite and I just thought I knew what I was doing, brushing the sheep's hair. So my family, they cut ties and that was it. And I was in the city by myself and I was determined. There were so many times where I did not have money to get any food. So the biggest splurge, because I had a cat, my cat was my best friend. And my biggest splurge was going to the Chinese market and getting rice. And then like me and my cat would eat together. Or I would save up enough money to get mac and cheese, but I didn't have any extra money to buy the milk and buy the butter to like make it nicely. You know what I mean? So I was eating that like just throwing together stuff, trying to survive. But I wouldn't change it for the world because I had one mission. When I first enrolled in cosmetology school, like I said, I had no idea what I was doing. I've never even used a blow dryer before.
And
And
I can imagine when you applied at this school and they're like, so Bobby, tell us, what your experience is. And you're like, oh, well, Glitz and Glamour.
yes,
My sheep, by the way, they're fabulous. Let me show you a couple of pictures.
exactly. So I somehow got my blow dryer caught in the girl's hair next to me. And it went the whole way up to her scalp. And we had to end up chopping off her hair. She only had this much hair left on this side of the head. And then I was the outcast of beauty school because I didn't know what I was doing, you know? And everyone was laughing. They're like, what is going on? They're like, I cannot believe that girl just did that to the other girl's head. So then I was like blacklisted, you know what I mean? But I was like, it's the first time I used a blow dryer and a brush. Like, go me. So it was the little victories. But I made it through. And that's when things started happening for me. So I was like, okay, Philadelphia, love it, but I want more. Like, I need to find these famous people. You know what I mean? So I started working for Aveda. Aveda gave me a huge chance. And I started working the runway shows. I worked with Betsy Johnson. I worked with Michael Kors a couple times doing hair and makeup for the runway shows. I did a lot of photo shoots. And then they asked me to go to LA. And I'm like, this is amazing. So I powdered Johnny Depp's handsome face and Jennifer Lawrence's glow up before the Golden Globes. And I was like, I can't believe it. Like I'm literally doing it. And then I got to work for the Victoria's Secret Angels and they let me try on their Victoria's Secret wings. And I give them so much credit. Um, they are so heavy. And for them to walk down looking beautiful with these heavy wings, like it was amazing. And everyone was so nice. And I just was like, wow, like I knew what I wanted and I didn't really know how I was going to get there. I just kept going and I finally did it. And then I got invited to go to Paris Fashion Week. So that was amazing in itself. And then it just kind of started snowballing. And I'm like, wow. So after that, then I started telling people my story and I got into the corporate world and I became the director of education for a cosmetology school. And then I was like, something's missing. Like I miss doing the hair and doing the makeup because by that time I was just in management and it didn't feel right to me. Like I would still do the fashion shows and things like that. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to open up my own salon. So I did, and I called it Glamour Room because of my wonderful sheep, because of Glitz and Glamour. And that year COVID hit and I was like, oh my gosh, like what is going to happen? all my other friends, they're still working, you know, getting their paychecks, and I'm here scrounging. I don't even know how I'm going to, make rent. And then I was like, I did not come this far to come this far. So I started doing like do it yourself, like facials and take home color and that kind of thing. So just to keep me afloat. And it worked. And now I am booked out for months. And I'm, I was later in life again, like opening up my own salon. It's never too late to decide what you want to do. And last weekend, I just did hair and makeup for Louis Vuitton. So that was so amazing. Like, and I had my daughter with me. So I put like a blanket down. She was playing with her Barbies and she was doing hair and makeup on her Barbies while I was doing the real hair and makeup. So it was, my life has been amazing. And I credit it to the hard work and dedication that I learned growing up. Yeah.
And I can imagine you watching your daughter in that moment
Yeah.
and just realizing this is coming full circle from the
Yes.
dreams of you being a little girl to watching your little girl do these things.
Yeah.
And
And she says that she wants to own her own salon, and she's going to take the salon over and she's going to call it Bella Dior. Like she has all these plans.
sounds like she's very driven like her mom already. Like
She is.
we're just taking it right back to the roots. And speaking of that, Bobby, you've had an amazing journey. And no matter what, you held that dream right there in front of you. From I'm just going to have some rice to some dry mac and cheese, but I'm going to meet my dream. So many times in life, people tell us what we should do. And you decided at 17, I'm not going to do that. When you look back over your life and how successful you have made it, because this is all on your shoulders or on your head, as we can say with your crown, what is the most difficult should you had to let go of from friends, family, culture, whatever it was? What was that biggest thing you had to let go of to achieve your dreams?
I feel like just if you fail, and I don't believe in failure, and that's the thing. I always thought it's going to be like an aha moment. I'm going to learn something else. If I don't make it to where I want to make it, that's okay. I can always find a U-turn. I can always take the scenic route to get there. So I believe like letting your control go and just seeing how far you can get. And I believe that is why it is so important to me to give back. So I started a program, it's called Operation Dignity, and I have reached over 5,000 unsheltered people because I have a soft spot, because I could still be struggling. You know what I mean? Everyone has a story and everyone struggles, and it's just how you recover from that and your mindset. I think your mindset has to be there. And that's why I provide hot showers for them. I provide meals for them. I also do dignity bags, and I've been getting them shipped out all over the world, which is really exciting because everybody needs that love. Everybody needs that support. And my gifts are hairstyling. So I've been giving free haircuts, and it's just not a haircut. It is the way that you make them feel. Just the other day, I was doing a haircut, and he was probably about 21. And I was asking him, like, how's your day? How are you? And he just started bawling all the tears. And he was like, you are the first person that acknowledged me for me and is asking me how my day is going and how I'm doing. And he just cried. He gave me a hug, like, and we just embraced. It's just such a powerful thing because you're actually touching them, you're actually connecting with them instead of just giving them a free handout. You're actually wanting to know how their life is going. Another guy, he was going to a job interview, and I cut his hair because he hadn't had it cut for about 6 months. And literally, like, he started to cry. He's like, wow, I feel like me again. So it's not just a haircut. I am empowering lives by giving haircuts. And I even did a baby's first haircut. It's so sad, but like I bring lollipops and I give them to the kids, and she was so excited just for a little lollipop. And you just have to be in the moment. And I believe that giving back is keeps you present and keeps you going, you know?
And it shows again how far you've come and how grateful you are to have these things that you're just giving them. And you're right, that touch, that hug, that human connection, that I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and I'm with
Yeah.
you in this moment is beautiful. And there is no doubt you are so worthy of the title that you wear of Miss Queen
Oh,
of the
thank
World
you.
2025. As we get ready to wrap our show up today, would you talk to us about what that crown means and what your role is under this royalty and what you plan to do with it while you're in reign?
Yeah, so I also have another program. It is called Money Mindset. And I started this program after I won top 40 under 40 and most professional woman of the year award. And I'm like, I am good at being a businesswoman, and I want other young teens to learn it as well. So that is my main mission for my reign. I went to Africa, to Sierra Leone, Africa, which is the second poorest country in the whole entire world. And I got to meet with 300 women over there, and I helped them become micro entrepreneurs, which is amazing. I got to go over and see them at their stands selling their goods, feeling empowered, and that was so rewarding for me. I'm going back in March. I'm bringing my daughter with me this time. And I helped raise $75,000 for an orphanage. And to go back over and see these wonderful kids with these so sad stories, um, it's going to be so rewarding to go back. I cannot wait. So I'm going to be doing drives so I can bring stuff over to them, because last time I brought over 500 onesies because they don't have. And there's so many babies that are being born. And it was so sad to see how they live over there. And they're just so grateful because when they're born, they don't have anything. So giving them a onesie means the world to them. So I want to connect and see what they need. So doing different drives and bringing that over to them, and then continuing my money mindset. I've reached over 10,000 students across America. Going into the schools, I go into the schools about 3 times a month because I don't want anyone to fall into homelessness. And times are tough right now. And if I can help a young minded person to keep that right mindset, I believe that they will budget better. I believe that they will be able to take control over their life. So that is my mission as being Mrs. Queen of the World.
It is a beautiful mission. And I know those that have listened and watched today, they're going to want to follow you. Share with our viewers and listeners how they can keep up with you and how they can connect.
So follow me on Instagram at Mrs.Queenoftheworld 2025. I'm posting on social media all the time. And then you guys can help with everything that I'm getting together for Africa, doing different drives and stuff. So just stay tuned and come along with me on the wild ride, because we're always doing such good in the community.
Bobby, thank you for your time today.
Thank you so
It
much.
has been a treasure to host you.
Oh, thank you.
You just took another step towards owning your story and thriving against all odds. This is Affirm That Shit. Somehow I thrived. If you're ready to keep kicking ass, subscribe now and let's keep breaking barriers together. Remember, life's a battle, but somehow you'll thrive.